Hey guys, welcome to the Longship Medic. I have a really exciting product here to show you guys today. You guys know I'm all about preparedness and trying to make yourself better wherever you are in the world. And I just got a package from our Shear medical consultants. They sent me their emergency pharmacy field kit to test out, try out, review, and I'm excited to show it to you today. So let's dig in. So while I'm opening this box, I want you to think a little bit about your last outing and how far away, realistically, how far away you were from your nearest medical professional, your nearest ambulance, your nearest doctor, your nearest definitive care. And for those of us who like to go a little bit more away from city centers and be away from people for a little while to rejuvenate, recover, hunt, whatever it is that you do in the outdoors, sometimes that's not close to any sort of larger medical facility, hospital, clinic, what have you. So there might be minutes, hours, maybe even days before you can be seen. What happens if you get caught out there in a snowstorm? You know, we had those record snowstorms in the Northeast. What are you gonna do if it's just you and your vehicle? What are you gonna do if it's just you, yourself, and whatever you brought on your trip? And that's where the emergency pharmacy field kit comes in. So whenever we would go on a trip in the military, you would have somebody that looks kind of like this. And I would have something like this, or there was a DA med bag that let me put a little bit more into my kit, or your traditional M9 that I packed out. And in these kits, I could carry some extra vials in a hard case like this. I could shove some extra Hello Kitty Band-Aids in the top of my med bag. And I could treat allergies, all the way up to anaphylaxis. I could manage pain. I could distribute antibiotics as necessary. I could also deal with constipation and diarrhea. I had everything in my med bag and a med box that I thought I would need wherever we were. But now we don't have that anymore. We're out here trying to do our best to get outdoors and be safe and be prepared. And you don't have your medic there to help you with anything more catastrophic than a Band-Aid or some moleskin. Just wanted to kind of show you a final product of how I have it all laid out. With the labels, with everything. A couple of extra medications that I just like to carry for myself. So if you look at the cost breakdown, look at what you're getting for this kit. Look at the advantages that you're able to have with personalized prescription medications as opposed to just what I'm able to get from your local drugstore. This is the prices that I found at my local CVS trying to get a similar kit fitted out. Also, I want to talk about the yellow, the green, and the red. So if it was an advantage in one of the boxes or the other, I highlighted it green. If it's the same across the board, I highlighted it yellow. And if it's red, it was slightly either in count or in prescription strength than the alternative. And if you look at this, just look how much more you're getting, a whole chunk of prescription medications that you're just not able to cover from the perspective of just an over-the-counter purchase. And we're looking at stuff, medications that are going to be hospital-grade treatments for inflammation, for prolonged injury, like your muscle relaxants. You have UTI, nausea, influenza, cough suppressants, bacterial infection, as well as fungal and parasitic infection treatments. You have such more coverage with this box comparatively. And if that's not worth a couple $100 to you, then so be it. But just know what you're leaving off with something that's dedicated like this box compared to what you can do as a run-of-the-mill civilian. So if you're going out with your family, maybe you don't need this. Maybe you need over-the-counter stuff. If you're going for a bike ride downtown, maybe this isn't the right kit for you, but there is a niche for this. And I did a lot of thinking on who this product would best serve. And, thinking about it, it's all the people that really want to get outside and really get far away. Now, I'm driving a 4Runner. I don't have four-wheel drive. I'm not overlanding across country. However, I do like to get outdoors. I do like to go on 20-mile bike rides, 30-mile bike rides. I like to go run. I like to be in the woods. And for those of you who have done longer marathons, who have done longer races, you know that GI can mess you up. You know that you can be out there and a rash can start. And some of these races are done so far away from larger cities, larger clinics, that you might need to start treating yourself before you get to that point. And that's where this kit comes in, and that's where this kit thrives. You know, talking to my overland community and my prepper community, maybe you're not a paramedic, maybe you're not a doctor, but you want to be more prepared. You know, these really do bridge the gap between what you're able to do as a normal civilian and what you're able to get when you start working with a company like Austerior Medical Consultants, where you're working with a licensed physician, where you're able to get medications that can really care for you early on in a way that you can't find outside of an ambulance, or you can't find outside of proper medical licensing. And if you aren't a physician, if you aren't a paramedic, if you aren't a nurse, that's why this field manual is so important. I can flip through here, and just from the color-coded tabs all the way to the end where you can take care of yourself for days, I love that it coordinates with everything in the box. Now, as you guys see, as I'm going through this, I've identified what is important to me, and I've identified kind of my groupings, and this is how I set it up. One thing about this box that I did want to highlight is it's large. It is robust, but it is large. If you are going anywhere where you might encounter water, or you might encounter some bumps along the way, this kit is fantastic. This kit makes it so easy to throw into any vehicle, any boat, any aircraft, and have no issue with it being safe. That being said, if you are on an elk hunt, if you are going anywhere backpacking, if you are going to be hours away from your vehicle, this is not a backpackable item. That's okay, that's not its purpose, but you can break it down. One thing I did is I did pack mine with a whole bunch of these Ziploc bags, and if I need to take some degree of medications, I can use my label, and I can break down these bottles into something that's a little bit more feasible for overland. So if you don't want to carry the entire box, but you need to throw something in that'll take care of upset stomach, maybe a basic broad spectrum antibiotic, or some general pain medication, then you can. And it's not that big of a deal. You're still getting prescription grade medication in the field where you need it, and then bring it back, close it up, and you're good to go. One aspect of this that I also want to highlight is that this kit is for you. These medications are prescribed for you. You talk to a physician via their online server before you even get sent these medications, so they are tailored really to your allergies, to your preferences, to your needs, within the scope of their comprehensive coverage, right? So I don't want you to think that this is a kit for the team, that this is a kit for everybody, that this is a kit that's, for everybody to use. Another thing I would also consider is, if you are bringing the field manual along with you, cover it. These pages are not your normal paper, but honestly, this plastic cover is not going to do everything to go into the field with you. For me right now, I have a bag that I stick this in. This goes in my backpack. Even for individuals who know their medications and who know their doses, it is nice to have a field manual or some sort of reference material to back yourself up with. If you're out there and you're giving multiple medications, or you're dealing with signs and symptoms that you don't understand or you don't know just yet, have a reference with you, whether it's the emergency pharmacy field manual, which I think is very well written and very well laid out, or another reference manual. It is really good to have something solid in hand, not digital, but in hand, that you can work with if you're out in an environment and you have questions. I have some content for this product coming up that I'm extremely excited about. Going to kind of place it in some different environments where you might see the benefits of having an Austerior Medicine Consultants emergency pharmacy field kit with you. And I really hope you enjoy that content. I also would like you to like and subscribe, ask more questions about this field kit. I'm going to go over a little bit more of what medications are in the box itself and kind of how I've organized it. I'll also show you my pack when I'm getting around and maybe even throw in some different packs, whether you're hiking, whether you're biking, whether you're getting out there as a local search and rescue volunteer, or you are a paramedic yourself and you're going out on a boat, or maybe just enjoying the open ocean, you're going hunting with your friends. I want to show you how useful this product is in each of those kind of contexts and environments. So stick around if you'd like to see more of that. And guys, I appreciate you watching. Remember, be safe, be ready. I'll see you in the next one.